Velkommen til Maskinrummet, en podcast fra Maskinmesternes Forening. Din vært er Anders Kampmann.
Velkommen til en ganske speciel udgave af Maskinmesteren. Som den opmærksomme lytter nok allerede nu har opdaget, så er der en del mere baggrundsstøj i luften, end vi er vant til her på mediet. Men det må man tage med sig på en dag som i dag, hvor vi absolut også er et ganske specielt sted. Vi sidder nemlig i Sky Lounge ombord på krydstogtskibet MSC Euribia, som lige nu befinder sig i Nordsøen. Der er sådan et tåget her, men der er lækkert i loungen, og det gælder også for den gæst, der sidder over for mig. Michele Francioni, I hope that was sort of right?
Yeah.
Francioni, sorry.
Okay.
No, my Italian is not the best.
Same as my Danish.
Yeah. And that's why we'll continue in English from here on. You present today's host, other than me, so to speak, MSC Cruise Lines, where you are a naval architect and marine, and you have a master's in marine engineering. I thought you could start by presenting yourself beyond what I have just said, and not least introduce your role in the company.
Yep. Good afternoon. Yes, my name is Michele Francioni. I'm Senior Vice President at MSC Cruises, looking at obviously leading the sustainability strategy of the organization, of the company, and obviously being focusing on the climate change and decarbonization strategy of the company. I have several roles in the organization, but obviously this is becoming today the most important one that I have to lead toward the strategy support. My background is I'm a naval architect and marine engineer. I have a master's degree at the University of Genoa, and I've been working in the industry for 26 years at the moment. I work for over 20 years in a classification society, Italian class society named RINA, with different roles. I've been obviously started as an engineer, as a structural engineer, and I work as a marine surveyor, and progressively developed the careers into. At the end, I became the CEO of the company, and I left in 2018, and I joined MSC. Since then, obviously, I've been working with the company to put forward this strategy for the sustainable cruising industry, and I work in several areas, both at the regulatory frame as well as in making sure the implementation of the initiative are actually effective in the organization.
And the reason we're here on the Euribia today is of course the whole sustainability angle of the magnificent vessel, large as it is. On the podcast, actually, on a different show recorded here on the ship yesterday with Michael Arzt from Wärtsilä, who built the engine, the LNG powered engine, which is situated roughly 14 decks below us, 15, 16, something like that.
Yep.
Quite distant. So this LNG engine, first and foremost, at the cutting edge of what is possible in terms of propulsion and propellants today, running on liquefied natural gas. What can you tell us about this? The thoughts about putting in an engine like that?
Well, first of all, indeed, this MSC Euribia is an exceptional ship. It is most probably the most efficient cruise ship ever built today. Which is actually a significant achievement, and this is, is a result of a series of initiatives, engineering, technologies, all together, working together to ensure that we minimize the energy consumption on board. That's, I think, is the key. Okay, when you have a best hardware, then it's easier to achieve a better result in the overall. And definitely, as I said, Euribia is probably the most efficient ship ever built. That's a very important point. Obviously, LNG plays an important role in our strategy, and the ship is fitted with 4 dual fuel engines, which may run at LNG or gas oil. Obviously, at the moment we are running on LNG, and actually at the moment we are running on bio-LNG, not LNG. So it's actually very important. We feel that the tremendous effort has been done in the cruise industry in the recent years. I just want to give you a number just to understand a bit. When we speak about Euribia, the emission reduction of Euribia generally is 50% lower than per passenger, is 50% lower than another ship built 10 years ago. So it's a huge improvement. You see, that has been tremendous, the effort. And this is done only by adopting technology which help to reduce emission. Heat recovery, air conditioning, lighting, galleys. All those things are fundamental. Now, I would say, on top of this one, we are engaged now in what we call the first ever zero-emission voyage from Saint-Nazaire to Copenhagen, for which a series of additional initiative has been put in place to ensure that we achieve the net zero. These are operational efficiencies, energy efficiencies initiative. We have a team of 7 people working with the master and the chief engineer and the crew to optimize every single detail of the energy. And this has been tremendous. We have been running the first leg from Saint-Nazaire to Copenhagen with even better result than what is the design standard benchmark. So that is actually helping to do that.
A quick remark: the Saint-Nazaire is the shipyard in western France where the ship was built.
Exactly.
Yeah.
In Bretagne.
Yeah. So from here on, the ship is gonna have its sort of home base in the Nordic region.
Yes.
And you you aim to sail on LNG for the whole time. Is that the target?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The ship will be based departing from Kiel, and she will run on Copenhagen and the fjords, the Norwegian fjords. And she expected to run on LNG all the time. So we will have it LNG. We have secured the supply of LNG for the next seasons. It's a long-term contract with the suppliers, Gasum, which will supply the LNG for us for the next seasons. It's not only a matter of having supply of fossil LNG, but with Gasum we are working also. We have been announced a few days ago about an strategic agreement for the supply of bio and synthetic LNG going forward, which is actually very important. The bio-LNG that we use in this voyage is also supplied by Gasum.
Husk, du kan altid finde den nyeste version af Maskinmesteren på mmf.dk under publikationer.
Yeah, exactly. Getting the fuel to the ship and availability at scale is a major issue. Obviously, LNG are already a more expensive fuel to run on, obviously, than normal diesel, and also getting it to the ship, and it's not going to be available in all the ports. So it's a bit of a puzzle to make have it fit and to be able to bunker.
It is. Obviously, LNG is available worldwide, but you need to engage generally with suppliers on a long-term contract, because it's not on the spot market. It's actually you have to engage on a long-term contract. But they say if you work a bit in advance, then it's possible. When we speak about bio-LNG and synthetic LNG, is a completely different story. That is not available at scale at all, and actually is available in very small proportion. And you need really to work with the supplier to define a strategy going forward. So that's what we are working today, to ensure that our suppliers will be able in the future to progressively give us more biofuels or biogas as we go along. If we don't do that, we will turn up that we have no LNG, no bio-LNG for us in the future. That's for sure.
Yeah. Could you see yourself investing in production yourself?
Not really. Actually, it's not a MSC company strategy to invest ourselves, but we prefer to engage with partners, with selected partners on long-term strategy agreements. That this is what we are doing here right now.
So I guess there's a daily balance of also looking at the performance of the ship overall and all the systems you mentioned: ventilation, waste management, heat recovery, water treatment, all those essential systems, and running on the right level, and power consumption from top to bottom. So there's a lot of issues to factor in. And how do you balance this?
Well, digitalization helps us a lot in that. That's for sure. We cannot do it with the traditional paper measurements. This ship is connected to 2 systems that we have ashore. We have a system designed by the yard, which compare the performance of the ship with the digital twin that the yard has built for the ship. So for every piece of equipment, we are able to understand every minute of the ship life, how every piece of equipment perform. That's very important. And also we have another system which is MSC system, which again also do the same. So we have basically two measurement systems which working together they compete one each other. And this is amazing because we have data. Obviously, we understand whenever the ship is not performing well, and we are able to intervene and to interact with the crew to understand what's the problem and how we can solve it immediately. And this is important. And today it's not only for this ship; it's for the entire fleet of MSC. It's a fundamental tool that we have developed over the last years, and we are continuously improving day to day.
Yeah. And running on LNG as we are now, or bio-LNG to be specific, emits a lot less particles, less CO2. But I'm also a bit curious as to the working environment.
Sure. Well, actually, LNG itself, most people LNG, and so we are speaking a quite simple molecule, which is CH4. Okay, it's nothing more than that. It's liquefied methane. At the end of the story, the benefits on emission, local emission, is significant. We have no SOx basically. There's no sulfur oxide. There's no nitrogen oxide. Very limited. We have no particles. And also on the CO2 and greenhouse gas emission, CO2 equivalent emission, the reduction is significant. It's not zero emission yet for what concerns the carbon LNG, fossil LNG, but it is a significant reduction compared to traditional maritime fuels such as gas oil or heavy fuel. So we think about we are around 25% less CO2 and up to 20% less greenhouse gas emission, which is again a significant improvement compared to where we were only 5 years ago, 3 years ago.
Yeah, I'm also thinking about the daily working life for the crew in the engine. You say it's a dual fuel engine. You could switch over to standard diesel if necessary. But how does the crew experience any difference in the daily routines?
No, actually not. I would say the switch off between one fuel and the other one is immediate. So it's not really a difficult operation. It's just switching a couple of switches and that's it. It's done. In terms of performance, LNG is a good fuel because the energy content of LNG is significantly good compared to gas oil. So it's good. But again, the ship is designed to run on LNG. The primary fuel is LNG, and we are going to use LNG. And the crew is using LNG. That's a scope. That's a strategy going forward. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and then you utilize all the energy from cooling down the LNG. It's minus 163, if I'm not mistaken. So an extra issue there. But again, you sort of you take in that energy and use it for something else when it's released.
Well, let's say, the LNG is kept at a temperature of approximately 155, 160 degrees, something in that range. So that is the optimum for this type of containment system. Well, obviously this is done by refrigerating the LNG, that's for sure. We use a bit of energy of that. But on the other side, when we have to heat up the LNG, we don't really use energy. We reuse the heat of the engines produced.
Yeah.
So it's actually a way of saving again energy because we don't have to produce energy to heat up the LNG. So that is common by standards. That again is huge saving of fuel.
Sort of making energy come full circle.
Yeah. Well, again, I was saying before, and now we are running with no boilers. All the heat that we require is produced from the engine. And this is a significant impact. We are talking about approximately 70 megawatt per day of energy saved. So it's huge impact. So all this is actually an engineering and technology improvement that has been done on the ships in the last years. And we see the results here.
Husk, du kan altid finde den nyeste version af Maskinmesteren på mmf.dk under publikationer.
So LNG is the future for a cruise line like MSC, or do you see stuff like hydrogen or ammonia coming into the picture at some point a bit further down the road? Or
LNG is the present, but it's also the future, we believe. Not in its fossil forms, but most probably surely in a bio forms and synthetic forms. Then obviously, there will be a time when we come to other fuels such as hydrogen. Hydrogen is actually a very good final solution, and although it's not very good from the energy content point of view, and also in the containment system is not simple. It will be a long time to go, really, to be able to run on a full scale with full scale hydrogen. So it will be a period of time where we have a combination of fuels, and then progressively we'll move to hydrogen. But LNG will play an important role in the next 15, 20 or 25 years for sure. We did not in its present form, but more in a bio and synthetic form.
And the electric cruise ship is not exactly around the corner, but are you looking into battery storage and at some level?
Well, first of all, this ship is already electric because the ship, everything what we need on this ship is electricity.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's what we call diesel electric or combination. No, we don't think that the battery constitute the future for this ship for a simple reason. The amount of energy we need is huge. And we feel the battery is not the best technology for that. We are actually much more confident in other technology to get testing, such as the fuel cell, for example, which are able to produce energy with a potentially much simpler way, not with the combustion of fuels, but more of an electrochemical reaction of fuels and oxygen, producing electricity, which we need. So that's technology we are testing now on MSC World Europa. We have a solid oxide fuel cell of approximately 150 kilowatt, which basically is able to transform LNG into electricity, which is actually significant. We will continue to work on that. We are planning new project for fuel cells going forward, and we will try to make sure that we benefit from that developments going on.
A lot of perspectives on the sustainability horizon still to come for MSC and the industry at large.
For sure. There is a lot of dramatic amount of work going on. Research and development and innovation are key of that one, and so this is why we are engaging in many R&D projects with partners to develop technology, because we need technology, we need new fuels, we need development improvement, because that's the only way we be able to go forward.
Will that be the final word, Michele? So many thanks for joining us today. Og så lyttes vi ved i en forhåbentlig mindre støjende udgave af Maskinrummet inden længe. Tak for det.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Du har lyttet til Maskinrummet, en podcast fra Maskinmesternes Forening. Find flere podcasts på mmf.dk.